Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. I want to ask you all a very, very important question. Do you want to be told the truth or do you want to just feel good? And that's what we're going to get into today. So today's topic is stop looking for a cheerleader and start looking for a coach. So let's get into it. Because this is what I realized a long time ago. I realized a while ago that people think that a coach is all about just basically being a cheerleader and just only making them feel good. But really, a good coach is gonna pull you to the side, and when you're messing up, they're gonna go and get you in order so you can get results and you can win. But a lot of people aren't used to that. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I think about how at this one time I was training this one client. She actually was a Cook County commissioner. And then yeah, in the beginning, for the most part, in the beginning, she was on point. She was doing her workouts, she was logging her meals. But it got down to just like with most women, when things get rough at work, when they have a lot going on, they're getting a habit of making excuses. And I mean, I don't mind giving a person a break every now and then, but when it's a regular thing where a person is not doing what they're supposed to do, and myself being a health coach and a master trainer, and part of my business is holding a person accountable to get results because I'm not in the business like Omar Johnson that he could just him, Steve Harvey, Derek Jackson, they can just say feel good stuff and then the person doesn't have to go and deliver anything. So with my coaching, I have to actually deliver results. So, okay, I don't mind a person feeling good, but it's about you getting results that I can showcase later on. And then it benefits your life and then also benefits my life. So when I was training this one commissioner, and she was on point for a little while, but I noticed that it came down to a certain point where she was ignoring my calls and she wasn't responding to my messages. So a few weeks went by, and I noticed that man. So she's not responding to me. She's not responding to me, and then she gave me what's happened. Then she wound up texting me right before she went to church. And then I had to to kind of just give her a nice. How to say it? I mean, I can nice wake up call at man and think So I mean, I had to say some things to her to kind of wake her up. And I remember she told me, she was like, Solomon, right now you're not being, or he said, Solomon, you're not sounding that motivating right now. And then that's when it hit me that she didn't really get that a good coach doesn't just say feel good stuff, especially when you're messing up and when you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So that's when it hit me like, okay. And then I realized too that part of the problem is a lot of women aren't used to men giving them corrective criticism. That's one thing that I realized, especially at that moment. So, perfect example. She was going to church, and then just like a lot of times, I realized even last week when I was at church, when you're going to church, they're saying feel good things, and you hear all the dancing and the singing. But really, the problem is nobody's holding you accountable by what you say that you were supposed to do, and did you do what you're supposed to do? So just hearing feel good stuff is not going to fix your problem. It'll have you to feel good in the moment. So you have to pick a side. So do you want to pick the side of feeling good, or do you want to pick the side of getting the truth so that you can go and wake up and be able to move toward getting the results that you want? But you have to pick a side. And I realized this with other women before that I have trained. So and it's just that a lot of women aren't used to a person, especially a man, holding them accountable to do what they said that they was gonna do. So they're not used to it. So they're used to people, just letting them give excuses after excuses, and then just saying, well, everything's gonna be okay. But in life doesn't work like that. Just like how in life people judge you. People want results. People don't care about your excuses. Just like how with your body doesn't care about how long of a day that you had or how much you have going on. Your body doesn't care, and that's the main reason why a lot of people are overweight is because their excuses are stronger than their desires to get things done. Literally, I can say that being a trainer and a health coach, I hear excuses more than anybody. So I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, just like I had like this other client. This other client, I mean, she was cool, for a little bit when I was training her, but she was like another perfect example of somebody who's not used to a person, holding them accountable to do what they said that they'll do. So I think about even with her, okay, so like I should be on point, for a little bit, and then when times get rough or something going on with her job or also her relationships, she would just go and then just eat anything. She'll eat all kind of sugary foods, and she want to eat snacks all day. And I'm telling her, like, okay, so you need to be able to control your triggers. So the moment that you actually feel stressed out, which I learned some of these skills being a health coach, because being a health coach, it had me to be able to specialize in behavior change and also helping women with their stress management. So it's all about being able to control the triggers, because if you can control the triggers, and then you can manage the problem better. But if you can't control the trigger, and then you'll be doing whatever. So a lot of times you got to watch, because then when a person is stressed out, especially the women, they'll eat all kind of comfort foods, and then wonder why they gain 3, 4, 5, 6 different pounds. So it's all about being able to be honest with yourself. But yeah, but a lot of times what it is, the truth will sting. So if you're not used to nobody telling you some truth to go, and get you, to be able to just move and be able to wake up, you're gonna just only be in feel good mode, and then you're gonna have even more problems that you had from the beginning, because you've been all about just feeling good. So yeah, but once again, so like I was saying, so a good coach doesn't just make you feel good when you skip out of doing what you're supposed to do. So a good coach is going to go and point out what you're doing, and then tell you how to get back on track. But then they're going to have to, just let you see, okay, wow, you're doing this. This is not right. We have to get back on track. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. You all need to know and get used to somebody telling you the truth to get the results that you want. Otherwise, you're just paying a person. Like another example, I think about how when I see women that they've been paying a therapist for 6, 7, 8 different years, and they're paying somebody to just listen to them and then just feel good. But then if you're not changing the problem, if you're not getting results, then you're just paying somebody to just hear you talk. So, and then I think about even in my business. In my business, a person can't just pay me and then I don't deliver results. But my whole thing is, if I have to do my part, but a person have to do their part. But in some other businesses, like I said, pandering is not coaching. Pandering is just somebody just taking your money and then just making you feel good. So that's the whole thing. So you have to get in the habit of hearing some truth, so then you can wake up and be able to get results, get what you want, to get the kind of results that you want. But otherwise, you're gonna be wasting your time, wasting your money. A lot of times people say, "Man, I don't get it," so my knee hurt, my back hurt. Well, it hurt because for the longest you've been just doing what you want to do. So if you've been just eating what you want to eat, and the other thing is that I see that, which makes a big difference though, is most people do not know how to properly set goals. That's the other thing that I realized a while ago being a health coach. Most people, when you ask them something like, okay, what's one of your fitness goals? They say, well, I want to lose weight. Okay, but once again, you have to be able to set smart goals. The goals have to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So if you're not setting goals that are like that, 9 out of 10, you're not going to be able to get results. It's like I'll think about the other day. One of my other clients, so she lost about 14 pounds in the last 2 months with my coaching, and then I kind of had to have a real moment with her yesterday. I mean, she's pretty coachable, so she's better than most. Just I was telling her yesterday, like, man, I think just mainly part of your most of your problem is all you eat is like snacks and processed foods all day. So you have, and then I have on my meal tracker for her to go and eat a whole meal. So eat something that has protein, green leafy vegetables, and healthy fats. But for the most part, she would just eat just processed foods all day. And she'll just combine a whole bunch of different processed foods and say that that's the meal. I'm like, no, that's not the meal. And then that's not moving toward helping you accomplish your weight loss goals. So, I mean, it's good by you being able to log your meals. I mean, so that's a start. So you're being aware, but it's about properly feeding your body. And then all this processed shit, just that it's causing problems. So that's what it is, y'all. So I wanted to go and clear that up, y'all. So a good coach is gonna correct you, give you some truth so that you can get back on track and get results. So if your coach is just only telling you feel good shit when you're fucking up, yes, when you're fucking up, then that's not a coach. Then you're paying for a panda bear. So that's what you all need. So for you all to get results, you gotta have somebody, at least have some people in your life. It should be some man in your life that's telling you the truth so you can be able to get the kind of results that you want. Yeah, even myself, like I had coaches that that was chewing my ass out, So when I was doing things that I wasn't supposed to do, or when I was fucking up, I had coaches that were chewing me out, and I had to take it. It's just yeah, I had to take it, and then that's just what it is. But you can't be just so soft where as soon as something that somebody's telling you feels uncomfortable, you just get defensive. And then, but once again, it also comes down to a lot of it is a lot of people also are not coachable, and then they have these big egos. We have all these big egos. You're actually throwing salt in your own game, so you're preventing yourself from getting results because your ego is in the way. And I see that too, because what people don't talk about, they talk about men having all these egos, but a lot of these women have egos just because they have a business or they have a good paying job. So just because they're good at making money at their business or their job, a lot of times when it comes down to them learning from somebody else, they have a problem with giving up control. So that's the other thing that I realized. So you got to be the kind of woman that that you can go and accept corrective criticism, especially when it's somebody that they have the expertise in the area that you're lacking. So a lot of times, if you're over 200 pounds or 250 pounds, you need to just stop and just listen. Listen to somebody, because if you had the answers, you would have already been at a healthy weight and you would have already had results. So if you've been carrying this weight for more than 2 years, 3 years, you really just need to be listening. So just take your ego out of it. And then, as long as the person has the paperwork and they have the experience, you should just be stopping and listening and just applying. But yeah, but once again, you have to get out of the mode of just wanting to feel good. Because you can just feel good, but then you're going to stay the same way and year after year. And once again, everybody's busy. And yeah, I'm gonna keep it honest with y'all today. In real life, y'all, nobody gives a fuck about your excuses. Nobody cares. Only person who cares is maybe your mama, your daddy, maybe. But for the most part, nobody fucking cares. People just want to know, did you get it done? Did you get it done? And can you produce? That's just how it is. But just honestly, if I had $1 for everybody who gave me a little bullshit excuse when they say that they was gonna, do this or log their macros or pay, I would be so wealthy right now. Because it's like being a coach, it's different because you got to be kind of like a doctor to a certain degree. You got to kind of be a detective. So you hear the same thing. You got to point out a person bullshit, but then don't offend them too much. But then still, let them know that okay, I know that you're bullshitting. So it's kind of like a touchy line. Because once again, just like in my business, it's a very thin line between being patient and wasting your time. So if you're tired of bullshitting yourself, you're tired of people just telling you things to make you feel good, and you want to finally be able to get some damn results, you can go and type in the word reset in the chat, and then I would go and reach out to you to see if I can help. But most of you all need help, y'all. So most of you all, I mean, the weight is out of control. You're just doing whatever you want to do. Everybody acts like they're so busy, but for the most part, they're not. So they're not. They're not. And then even if you was so busy, your body doesn't care about how busy you are. Your body only cares about getting results. So you have to give your body what it wants so you can have what you want. But most of you all need to learn how to set proper goals. And you all really, really don't have a blueprint. Just like how I think about how my other client, when she lost some weight, when she lost about 40 pounds in 2 months, she's going through some money problems right now because of some different things. And I told her understand that though, and she's like, well, so I'll be able to still lose the weight on my own. And I had to give her a reality check. I said, okay, the reason why you lost the weight it was because I have a system where I can hold you accountable, and I'm constantly checking your bullshit. That's why you're getting results. It's because it's a system that's getting results. It's not you. So then I had to kind of to have that real moment with her. So yeah, so she's definitely a real one. But some of y'all would have just been upset. But like I said, you can be upset in your feelings, but once again, that's not going to change the outcome that you want. So once again, if you're tired of these coaches that just pandering to you and just telling you bullshit, and you wonder about, damn, every year I keep getting bigger, and like a lot of times, a lot of you all are just using the excuse of I'm traveling just to just eat whatever you want to eat and just to be big, just to make excuses for just saying, well, I'm traveling so much. That's really bullshit. It's so many business people that they travel so much and then they still can maintain a fit popping body. So it just come down to you have to just prepare more, prepare ahead of time. So once again, I think so you can't have results and excuses. You have to pick a side. So do you all want to pick the side of the people that are fit, and then they can stay consistent, and then they can deal with boredom long enough to be able to get good at a task, versus the people who just want to always do something fun and always eat something new, and then wonder why they keep getting bigger, Yeah, it's because you lack self-control and your health is not that important. So right now, basically what that means is you love food more than you love your health. And then if it's something that's important, you're going to go and spend some effort and spend some resources on fixing the problem. If it's not important, you're going to just come up with another bullshit excuse and to tell about how much you have going on. So I know I kind of ran it a little bit though, but I wanted to really, really get this through to you all because I see so many women that they're wasting the best years of their life being overweight, and like, man, because if it actually was to get their look and their weight in order, they won't even have to work so hard. I promise you, y'all. I mean, there are more men out there that if a woman is hot enough and fit enough, they would just to take all her bullshit. Just say you'll make more money in your business. But what is that? For the most part, you don't want it bad enough. You don't want it bad enough, and you lack self control. You lack self control, and yes, and nobody telling you the real truth. So, all right, y'all. So I wanted to come on here and just give you all this message. So once again, y'all, a good coach is not a cheerleader. A good coach is somebody that's gonna tell you the truth so you can get some results. So we can make you feel good some of the time, but when you fucking up, we need to have a reality check. So all right, y'all. I hope you all got something from this message. Share this with somebody who's a professional bullshitter or somebody who need help. And I'll see you all next time.